committee for May 13th, order at 7 p.m. All members for council are present, all members from the administration are present. If there's anyone recording this meeting as a courtesy to the public, please identify yourself so your fellow attendees know that you're recorded. Seeing no one, would you please recording this meeting? With that, I'm going to turn the meeting over to Mayor of the Fire Chief for the swearing of our new Fire Chief, Frank Dyson.
Good evening, everybody. Glad you're all here tonight. So it's obviously it's a pretty special night for us. You don't know much about the East Lake Fire Department. This is only going to be the 5th time in our 75-year history that we're going to promote our fire chief. So we only had, I'm the 4th, and Frank will be the 5th. So we have a longevity in this job. I'm not sure if that's good or not. Ask some of the guys. And then another blessing with that. Out of the 3 out of the 4 before Frank are still alive. So Chief Buzzard, I think Chief Sable is here tonight. So we're kind of blessed we still have those guys around. Give you an idea, the first Chief, Chief Vicario, had 27 years as fire chief. Chief Buzzard had 17 years. Chief Sable had 14, and I'll have 17. So obviously it's been a true honor to be the fire chief. I grew up in this town, so to be able to kind of work where you grew up, was a dream. This is my dream job, and to get to this level, I feel very good about that. So it's not about me tonight; it's about the next chief here. Frank joined the department. Frank joined the department in 2001 in September. He was promoted to lieutenant in 2009 of October. He was battalion chief 2012. He's a decorated member of our department. He's the only one in the department is actually recognized as a firefighter of the year twice, once in 2013, once in 2019. He's been awarded, he's been part of 3 unit citations out of the department. Unit citations are usually given to a shift or a response crew that kind of goes to an incident that's probably outside of our norm. It does some amazing things. Don't remember those incidents, but he had 3 of those. When I think that when Frank started thinking about his future a little bit, as far as maybe becoming interested in this job, we started having discussions probably a year and a half ago. And the one thing we talked a lot about is how it affects your family. And I think that at that discussion, I really encouraged him to go home and have those hard discussions with him and say, I'm interested in this job. I try to give him an idea what the demands of the job are. There's some good things about, being the fire chief. Obviously you represent the department at the highest level. You get a chance to take the department in directions to better it. You have good influence on making those decisions, but it also comes with a lot of extra stressors. And so, for me, those are things I wanted to be sure he knew. But again, now he's home with his kid every night, so that's a blessing, for him. So, again, I'm very proud of him. I know he's worked very hard. From an executive point of view, he is a graduate of the Ohio Fire Executive Officer Program. That's through the Ohio Fire Chiefs. It's really like master's level work. You get introduced to different concepts of being an executive officer. You talk about anything from budgets, customer service, different things like that. He has to have a lot of deliverables, so he had to do a research project. Again, I also went through that program, and I think one thing to that program, it introduces you to a lot of like-minded people. It exposes you to people that are maybe already fire chiefs in an organization. Again, I think that over this last year and a half of discussions, the things he's done professionally, his work ethic, the things he's already done for the department, he's really done a nice job of preparing himself to be the fire chief of the East Lake Fire Department. I'm proud of him, and I most certainly, as the chief, when you turn over an organization where especially for me the last 17 years, you have a lot of blood, sweat, and tears. You always want to make sure whoever you're turning that over has that same drive. And I most certainly think that Frank does that. So I'll let him introduce his rest of his family, but this is his wife Lisa, his daughter Claire and Izzy. I know that he's got an amazing support system. His family's very close. They do a lot of nice things. So I think that everything's lined up for him to be a good fire chief. So I'll get out of the way and let him get sworn in.
honestly,
impartially,
and impartially
discharge the duties
of the office of fire chief
of the office of fire chief
of the city of East Lake,
for the city of East Lake,
Lake County, Ohio,
Lake County, Ohio,
for the term beginning May 18th, 2025,
for the term beginning May 18th, 2025,
and during my continuance in said office.
and during my continuance in said office.
Congratulations.
Chief, come on.
So, I don't really see too many people in this room that I don't consider family, but, my Georgia parents, my mom, my dad, my mom's husband, my in-laws, obviously the police and fire department guys. I'm really grateful for this opportunity, grateful to the city for trusting me with this position, and look forward to trying to fill the giant shoes that Chief Woodens left. Thanks.
Hey, Chief Sabo, stand up. Chief
So as they're getting the paperwork signed, there is a reception at the fire station, I think my wife made Kate. So I'm not sure that everybody here wants to see it for the council meeting. You're more than welcome, if the council president is okay with that. However, it's probably a good time to separate yourself over to the station and celebrate with Frank and his family. So thanks for coming out, everybody.
Next on our agenda, we turn the meeting over to the good neighbor.
Thank you, Mr. President. Mr. Galen Rivera, please come forward, please. You can bring all your family up, please, if you'd like. They're all welcome to join us. So, I'd like to first say this is a good use of social media. One of the good reasons I like to be on Facebook is that I'm friends with Galen's grandma, Sandy, on Facebook. She posted sometimes shenanigans, sometimes other things that she likes to do with her grandkids. She babysits them every afternoon. And one of the things she mentioned a few weeks ago was that she and Galen go out on walks pretty often, and they wanted to do a community service project. And she's like, well, what should we do? And Galen's suggestion was, well, we should pick up litter while we're on our walk. And so I think Grandpa went out and got some high-vis vests for them and went out walking, and the first day out, they picked up a whole garbage bag full of litter just in their Yakuma's Cove neighborhood over along Erie and along the street there. So when I saw that on Facebook, reached out to Grandma through messaging and such and asked if he would be okay if I could, give Galen recognize him with our Good Neighbor Award. And so thank you so much for coming. Mr. Gary, we come down to so we get some pictures with Galen. This is just a certificate, Galen. They have your name spelled right. They're good. Okay. This is the Good Neighbor Award is proudly given to Galen Rivera in recognition of your outstanding initiative and dedication in starting your own community service project to pick up litter in the Yakuma's Cove neighborhood. We can all do our part to make the world a cleaner and nicer place to live. The city of East Lake thanks you for making a big difference in our community. Thank you so much. I'd like to hold that. Get the picture. Oh. There you go. You want to hear me? You good? Okay. You're good? Okay. And here is the pin. You can click and have a logo in there for you. Thanks again for what you do. Congratulations. Thanks for being a role model for the rest of it. Yeah.
Congratulations. We will now move on to our legislation. We have legislation number 051301, ordinance amending section 575.20, special requirements of codified ordinance of the city of East Lake, Ohio, and read as such and declaring an emergency. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead. You want to talk about those?
The changes that we have discussed.
Anyone have any questions for Wanda? It's on legislation number 051302, an ordinance amending section 75902, license or permit and conditional use permit required in the codified ordinance of the city of East Lake, Ohio, to read as such and declaring an emergency, section by law. 051303, an ordinance amending section 114502, schedule of permitted buildings and uses of the codified ordinance of the city of East Lake, to include the following section declaring an emergency.
This was the Airbnb from Menor.
ordinance amending section 114702, permitted use of the codified ordinances of the city of East Lake to read in session during the emergency. No, you did the,
This one we have.
They were the landing first, they have to see the music, Joe's the driver, beverage store.
no, that's incorrect. I skipped on number 5, that was unfortunate, that was an error from the, last meeting. We're on number 5.
I think in council as a whole, agenda, I don't think there's a number 5.
We renumbered them, so number 5 is not number 4.
Oh, yeah, I'm sorry, number 5, so number 5 changes 114702 to address the base. We added a section in the condition use permit for state. Sorry.
That's fine. Any questions from our record? Seeing none, legislation number 051305, ordinance amending section 188.720, also city of codified ordinances of the city of East Lake, Ohio, to read it such, declaring an emergency.
Yeah, we had, council whole meeting, and it was discussed that our charges have been for a few years, only for East Lake has been at $100, and I suggested it goes up to $200 plus the fee of the landscape. And, we're not in the grass business. So something has to hopefully click here and come out. So that's why I asked for a raise. For the grass field. I didn't ask for a percentage.
Okay, are there any questions from this one? Seeing none, we'll move on to legislation number 051306, ordinance amending section 130101, time limit, building fee, deposit refunds of the codified ordinance of the city of East Lake, Ohio, to read as such and declaring an emergency. Mr. Mayor, I believe this is you also.
This is the one for, a homeowner's permit, so we're leaving all the deposits for commercial and residential, all the same fees. When they call and get their inspections, they'll get the deposit back.
Any questions from this one? Seeing none, we'll move on to legislation 051307, a resolution authorizing the mayor and director of finance to accept a donation from the consideration of Dollar Bank for a total of $500 to declare an emergency.
Just asking that you.
And the same from the way to, correct?
And number 9 and number 10.
All right. We have legislation number 051308, a resolution authorizing the mayor and director of finance to accept a donation for fireworks from Apollo Welding and Fabricating for a total of $250 and declaring an emergency. Legislation number 051309, a resolution authorizing the mayor and director of finance to accept a donation for fireworks from Stakes Manufacturing for a total of $250 and declaring an emergency. And legislation number 051307, a resolution authorizing the mayor and director of finance to accept a donation for fireworks from TEC Incorporated for a total of $500 and declaring an emergency. Commission will touch on those. Anyone have any questions? All right. We move on to legislation number 051311, an ordinance to reappropriate expenses of the city of East Lake, state of Ohio, for the period beginning January 1st, 2025, and ending December 31st, 2025, declaring an emergency. Michelle?
Thank you. David, you changed the Captain King repairs from $400,000 to $440,000 for the year. There have been some additional emergency repairs that have been needed to be made there.
Any questions from the finance group? Move on to legislation number 051312, a resolution authorizing directing the mayor and director of finance to purchase a 2025 Chevy Tahoe from GMC for use by the fire department for a total of $60,482 and declaring an emergency.
This is just a budgeted item that we get from all that equipment. I think we guys do a nice job of the price, getting the truck at the right time, so, I did have my hands on this, sure that there was, It was already in the budget.
It's from Jim Fleet, and they gave us an additional discount on how we made up this bill.
Any questions for Chief? All right. Seeing none, we'll go to legislation number 051313, a resolution authorizing the director and the mayor and director of finance to accept an offer for $25,000 for the sale of parcel number 34B025B000620 and declaring an emergency. Mr. Mayor?
This is one of the properties that council has previously authorized for sale back in April.
Any questions for that?
You might just have a question, because I'm just unfamiliar with the process of how we do this. So you got a bid, does this get offered, put out for a public bid?
This was put out through Platinum Realty.
Okay.
Realty on multiple lists. It's not multiple lists.
Okay, that's what I was.
Because we're chartered, we can extend ourselves on the side, so we can do it. Should have some respect to all the properties where. So we get a big deal.
And that makes sense, I just wanted to know.
Maybe the past would be just a lot of properties broken.
Anyone else, Ms. Crowley?
Yes, and then just a question, are you exempting the statutory bidding because it's less than $75, or just because we're passing on an emergency, or?
Well, those two are, I guess, are separate. We have the ability to amend our process from what the revised code requires, so that's separate from valuation or anything else we can decide.
We're just choosing. How often do we do that when it comes up?
Well, I can't do last time we sold one, but I think the meeting was for probably accepted in legislation then. So I would think maybe in, but yeah, we've done it.
Thank you.
Anyone else? All right, seeing none, we'll move on to legislation number 051314, a resolution authorizing the mayor and director of finance to file an application with the Lake County Planning Commission for funds through the Competitive Community Development Block Grant Program, CDBG, for the term of October 1st, 2025 through September 30th, 2026, and declaring an emergency. Commissioner?
Thank you, and this is just in order to apply for CDBG grant money. We've been very successful in the past and have used it for a lot of different projects in the state, so we're asking your permission again this year.
Any questions from the finance committee? All right, seeing none, we'll move on to legislation number 051315, a resolution recognizing the ability to permanently further fair housing in the city of Newport, Lake County, Ohio, and declaring an emergency.
Thank you. Every year when we ask for CDBG grants, we must be recognized as a fair housing city, and this legislation goes hand in hand with asking for the CDBG grant.
Any questions for the finance director? Seeing none, nothing else. This council is open, meeting is adjourned at 7:25. The regular council meeting of May 13th, 2025, order at 7:25 p.m. Ms. Schmidt, will you please lead us in the pledge of allegiance?
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Will the clerk please call the roll?
Here. Here.
Here.
Here.
Here.
Here.
Here. Is there a motion to approve the agenda for the regular council meeting of May 13th, 2025?
So moved.
Second? Second. Will the clerk please call the roll?
Yes.
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 Yes, the motion is carried, the agenda is approved. Is there a motion to approve the minutes of the regular council meeting of April 22nd, 2025? 2025. Is there a second?
Second.
Will the clerk please call the roll?
Mr. Smith?
Yes.
Mr. Smith? Yes. Mr. Katsounis?
Yes.
Mr. Kelly?
Yes.
Ms. Kraniak?
Yes.
Mrs. Conlon?
Yes.
Mr. Myers?
Yes, the motion is carried, the minutes are approved. Is there a motion to approve the minutes from the ordinance committee of April 22nd, 2025?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Will the clerk please call the roll?
Mr. Gully?
Yes.
Mrs. Conlon?
Yes.
Mr. Katsounis?
Yes.
Ms. Kraniak?
Yes.
Mr. Smith?
Yes.
Mr. Thomas?
Yes.
Mr. Myers?
Yes, the motion is carried, the minutes are approved. Is there a motion to approve the minutes from the special council meeting of May 5th, 2025?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Will the clerk please call the roll?
Mr. Thomas?
Yes.
Mr. Smith? Okay. Mr. Smith?
Yes.
Mr. Katsounis?
Yes.
Mr. Gully?
Yes.
Ms. Kraniak?
Yes.
Mrs. Conlon?
Yes.
Mr. Myers?
Yes, so the motion is carried, the minutes are approved, and we still, let the record reflect, we still have pending minutes from the council meeting and the ordinance committee meeting that were held on April 15th. Our next scheduled council committee meeting is scheduled for Tuesday, May 27th at 7 p.m. But the regular council meeting immediately following the adjournment of the council of the whole committee meeting. We'll move on to committee reports. I believe we had a DCD today.
We had our ECD meeting last Tuesday, basically just going over the finalizing the plan swap that is this Saturday. So we are super excited, it's going to be a great time, please invite anyone who would be interested. And then we also set our dates for the upcoming year. So I just wrote those to Alyssa and setting up from different times out. And we said that we've had our Good Neighbor Award, and that was presented today.
Or any questions for Councilwoman Schmidt? All right. We'll move on to recognition of the public. There's no one signed up to address council. Is there anyone who wishes to address council at this time? Let's come up and state your name and address for the record, please.
It's your real name. Rich Reagan, Willis, Ohio. Thank you, Council President, members of council, and mayor, for allowing me this 40 minutes to talk. But I'm here to acknowledge my buddy Ted Lincoln. Not only did he serve your city of Memphis manner that he served Lake County, he will leave a long-lasting legacy here, as people did before him. I know he's way too young to be retiring. I know that because I graduated. Congratulations, Ted. You're in good shape with your new chief. I had privilege of working with Frankie Bullock. So you guys are on a great path and good hands for a long time. So congratulations to you and your family.
Is there anyone else who wishes to address council at this time? All right. Seeing none, we're going to move on to legislation proposed. Will the clerk please read legislation number 051301?
An ordinance amending section 759.20, inspection required of the codified ordinances of the city of Eastlake, Ohio, to read as such and declaring an emergency.
Is there a motion to suspend the rule requiring separate readings and readings in full? Will the clerk please call the roll?
Mr. Gully?
Yes.
Mr. Katsounis?
Yes.
Ms. Kraniak?
Yes.
Mr. Smith?
Yes.
Mrs. Conlon?
Yes.
Mr. Thomas?
Yes.
Mr. Myers?
Yes. Is there a motion to adopt?
Move to adopt.
Is there a second? Second. Will the clerk please call the roll?
Mr. Gully?
Yes.
Mr. Katsounis?
Yes.
Ms. Kraniak?
Yes.
Ms. Smith?
Yes.
Mrs. Conlon?
Yes.
Mr. Thomas?
Yes.
Mr. Myers?
Yes, the motion is carried, the legislation is adopted. Will the clerk please read legislation number 051302?
An ordinance amending section 759.02, license or permit and conditional use permit required of the codified ordinances of the city of Eastlake, Ohio, to read as such and declaring an emergency.
Is there a motion to suspend the rule requiring separate readings and readings in full?
So moved.
Is there a second? Will the clerk please call the roll?
Ms. Kraniak?
Yes.
Mrs. Conlon?
Yes.
Mr. Katrina?
Yes.
Mr. Gully?
Yes.
Ms. Schmidt?
Yes.
Mr. Semick?
Yes.
Mr. Myers?
Yes. Is there a motion to adopt?
So moved.
Is there a second? Will the clerk please call the roll?
Ms. Kraniak?
Yes.
Mrs. Conlon?
Yes.
Mr. Katrina?
Yes.
Mr. Gully?
Yes.
Ms. Schmidt?
Yes.
Mr. Semick?
Yes.
Mr. Myers?
Yes, the motion is carried, the legislation is adopted. Will the clerk please read legislation number 051303?
An ordinance amending section 1145.02, schedule of permitted buildings and uses of the codified ordinances of the city of Eastlake, Ohio, to include the following section and read as such and declaring an emergency.
Is there a motion to suspend the rule requiring separate reading to read in full?
So moved.
For a second? Second. Will the clerk please call the roll?
Ms. Kraniak?
Yes.
Mr. Semick?
Yes.
Mr. Katrina?
Yes.
Mr. Gully?
Yes.
Ms. Schmidt?
Yes.
Mr. Semick?
Yes.
Mr. Myers?
Yes. Is there a motion to adopt?
So moved.
For a second? Second. Will the clerk please call the roll?
Ms. Kraniak?
Yes.
Mr. Semick?
Yes.
Mr. Katrina?
Yes.
Mr. Gully?
Yes.
Ms. Schmidt?
Yes.
Mr. Semick?
Yes.
Mr. Myers?
Yes, the motion is carried, the legislation is adopted. Will the clerk please read legislation number 051304?
An ordinance amending section 1147.02, permitted uses of the codified ordinances of the city of Eastlake, Ohio, to read as such and declaring an emergency.
Is there a motion to suspend the rule requiring separate reading to read in full?
So moved.
We all had a second, so will the clerk please call the roll?
Mr. Semick?
Yes.
Mr. Gully?
Yes.
Mr. Katrina?
Yes.
Ms. Kraniak?
Yes.
Ms. Schmidt?
Yes.
Mr. Semick?
Yes.
Mr. Myers?
Yes, is there a motion to adopt? Move to adopt. Is there a second?
Second.
Will the clerk please call the roll?
Mr. Semick?
Yes.
Mr. Gully?
Yes.
Mr. Katrina?
Yes.
Ms. Kraniak?
Yes.
Ms. Schmidt?
Yes.
Mr. Semick?
Yes.
Mr. Myers?
Yes, the motion is carried, the legislation is adopted. Will the clerk please read legislation number 051305?
An ordinance amending section 1387.20, cost of city removal of the codified ordinances of the city of Eastlake, Ohio, to read as such and declaring an emergency.
Is there a motion to suspend the rule requiring separate reading to read in full? Yes. Is there a second?
Second.
Will the clerk please call the roll?
Mr. Semick?
Yes.
Ms. Kraniak?
Yes.
Mr. Katrina?
Yes.
Mr. Gully?
Yes.
Ms. Schmidt?
Yes.
Mr. Semick?
Yes.
Mr. Myers?
Yes. Is there a motion to adopt? Move to adopt. Is there a second?
Second.
Will the clerk please call the roll?
Mr. Semick?
Yes.
Ms. Kraniak?
Yes.
Mr. Katrina?
Yes.
Mr. Gully?
Yes.
Ms. Schmidt?
Yes.
Mr. Semick?
Yes.
Mr. Myers?
Yes, the motion is carried, the legislation is adopted. Will the clerk please read legislation number 051306?
An ordinance amending section 1301.01, time limit, building fees, deposits, refunds of the codified ordinances of the city of Eastlake, Ohio, to read as such and declaring an emergency.
Is there a motion to suspend the rule requiring separate reading to read in full? So moved. Second?
Second.
Will the clerk please call the roll?
Mr. Semick?
Yes.
Ms. Schmidt?
Yes.
Mr. Katrina?
Yes.
Mr. Gully?
Yes.
Ms. Kraniak?
Yes.
Mr. Semick?
Yes.
Mr. Myers?
Yes. Is there a motion to adopt? Move to adopt. Is there a second?
Second.
Will the clerk please call the roll?
Mr. Semick?
Yes.
Ms. Schmidt?
Yes.
Mr. Katrina?
Yes.
Mr. Gully?
Yes.
Ms. Kraniak?
Yes.
Mr. Semick?
Yes.
Mr. Myers?
Yes, the motion is carried, the legislation is adopted. The clerk please read legislation number 051307.
A resolution authorizing the mayor and director of finance to accept the donation for the concert series from Dollar Bank for a total of $500 and declaring an emergency.
Is there a motion to suspend the rule requiring separate reading to read in full? So moved. Is there a second?
Second.
Clerk, please call the roll.
Mr. Semick?
Yes.
Mr. Semick?
Yes.
Mr. Katrina?
Yes.
Mr. Gully?
Yes.
Ms. Kraniak?
Yes.
Ms. Schmidt?
Yes.
Mr. Myers?
Yes. Is there a motion to adopt? Move to adopt. Is there a second?
Second.
Clerk, please call the roll.
Mr. Semick?
Yes.
Mr. Semick?
Yes.
Mr. Katrina?
Yes.
Mr. Gully?
Yes.
Ms. Kraniak?
Yes.
Ms. Schmidt?
Yes.
Mr. Myers?
Yes, the motion is carried, the legislation is adopted. The clerk, please read legislation number 051308.
A resolution authorizing the mayor and director of finance to accept a donation for fireworks from Apollo Welding and Fabricating for a total of $250 and declaring an emergency.
Is there a motion to suspend the rule requiring separate readings and readings in full.
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
The clerk, please call the roll.
Mr. Sonic?
Yes.
Mr. Gully?
Yes.
Mr. Kuzinik?
Yes.
Ms. Kraniak?
Yes.
Ms. Schmidt?
Yes.
Mr. Stelman?
Yes.
Mr. Myers?
Yes. Is there a motion to that?
Move to adopt.
Is there a second?
Second.
The clerk, please call the roll.
Mr. Sonic?
Yes.
Mr. Gully?
Yes.
Mr. Kuzinik?
Yes.
Ms. Kraniak?
Yes.
Ms. Schmidt?
Yes.
Mr. Stelman?
Yes.
Mr. Myers?
Yes, the motion is carried, the legislation is adopted. The clerk, please read legislation number 051309.
A resolution authorizing the mayor and director of finance to accept a donation for fireworks from State Manufacturing for a total of $250 and declaring an emergency.
Is there a motion to suspend the rule requiring separate readings and readings in full?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
The clerk, please call the roll.
Mr. Gully?
Yes.
Ms. Kraniak?
Yes.
Mr. Kuzinik?
Yes.
Ms. Schmidt?
Yes.
Mr. Stelman?
Yes.
Mr. Sonic?
Yes.
Mr. Myers?
Yes, is there a motion for that?
Move to adopt.
Is there a second?
Second.
Will the clerk please call the roll?
Mr. Gully?
Yes.
Ms. Kraniak?
Yes.
Mr. Kuzinik?
Yes.
Ms. Schmidt?
Yes.
Mr. Stelman?
Yes.
Mr. Sonic?
Yes.
Mr. Myers?
Yes, the motion is carried, the legislation is adopted. The clerk, please read legislation number 051310.
The resolution authorizing the mayor and director of finance to accept a donation for fireworks from CEC Incorporated for a total of $500 and declaring an emergency.
Is there a motion to suspend the rule requiring separate readings and readings in full?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Will the clerk please call the roll?
Ms. Schmidt?
Yes.
Mr. Stelman?
Yes.
Mr. Kuzinik?
Yes.
Mr. Gully?
Yes.
Kraniak?
Yes.
Mr. Sonic?
Yes.
Mr. Myers?
Yes. Is there a motion to adopt?
Move to adopt.
Is there a second?
Second.
The clerk please call the roll.
Ms. Schmidt?
Yes.
Mr. Stelman?
Yes.
Mr. Kuzinik?
Yes.
Mr. Gully?
Yes.
Ms. Kraniak?
Yes.
Mr. Sonic?
Yes.
Mr. Myers?
Yes, the motion is carried, the legislation is adopted. The clerk please read legislation number 051311.
An ordinance to reappropriate for the expenses of the city of Eastlake, state of Ohio, for the period beginning January 1st, 2025, and ending December 31st, 2025, and declaring an emergency.
Is there a motion to suspend the rule requiring separate readings and readings in full?
So moved.
Second. Will the clerk please call the roll?
Mr. Sonic?
Yes.
Mr. Kuzinik?
Yes.
Mr. Gully?
Yes.
Ms. Kraniak?
Yes.
Ms. Schmidt?
Yes.
Mr. Stelman?
Yes.
Mr. Myers?
Yes. Is there a motion to adopt?
Move to adopt.
Is there a second? Will the clerk please call the roll?
Mr. Sonic? Mr. Kuzinik?
Yes.
Mr. Gully?
Yes.
Ms. Kraniak?
Yes.
Ms. Schmidt?
Yes.
Mr. Stelman?
Yes.
Mr. Myers?
Yes. The motion is carried, the legislation is adopted. Clerk please read legislation number 051312.
A resolution authorizing and directing the mayor and director of finance to purchase a 2025 Chevy Tahoe from GM Fleet for use by the fire department for a total of $50,480 and declaring an emergency.
Is there a motion to suspend the rule requiring separate readings and readings in full? Is there a second?
Second.
Will the clerk please call the roll?
Mr. Stelman?
Yes.
Mr. Sonic?
Yes.
Mr. Kuzinik?
Yes.
Mr. Gully?
Yes.
Ms. Kraniak?
Yes.
Ms. Schmidt?
Yes.
Mr. Myers?
Yes. Is there a motion to adopt?
Move to adopt.
Is there a second?
Second.
Will the clerk please call the roll?
Mr. Stelman?
Yes.
Mr. Sonic?
Yes.
Mr. Kuzinik?
Yes.
Mr. Gully?
Yes.
Ms. Kraniak?
Yes.
Ms. Schmidt?
Yes.
Mr. Myers?
Yes, the motion is carried, the legislation is adopted. Will the clerk please read legislation number 051313.
A resolution authorizing and directing the mayor and director of finance to accept an offer for $25,000 for the sale of parcel number 34D025D00062 and declaring an emergency.
Is there a motion to suspend the rule requiring separate readings and readings in full?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Will the clerk please call the roll?
Ms. Kraniak?
Yes.
Mr. Sonic?
Yes.
Mr. Kuzinik?
Yes.
Mr. Gully?
Yes.
Ms. Schmidt?
Yes.
Mr. Myers?
Yes. Is there a motion to adopt?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Will the clerk please call the roll?
Ms. Kraniak?
Yes.
Mr. Sonic?
Yes.
Mr. Kuzinik?
Yes.
Mr. Gully?
Yes.
Ms. Schmidt?
Yes.
Mr. Stelman?
Yes.
Mr. Myers?
Yes, the motion is carried, the legislation is adopted. Will the clerk please read legislation number 051314?
A resolution authorizing the mayor and director of finance to file an application with the Lake County Planning Commission for fund to the Competitive Community Development Block Grant Program, CDBG, for the term of October 1st, 2025 through September 30th, 2026, and declaring an emergency.
Is there a motion to suspend the rule requiring separate readings of the readings of all?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Will the clerk please call the roll?
Ms. Schmidt? Yes. Mr. Sonic?
Yes.
Mr. Katsounis?
Yes.
Mr. Gully?
Yes.
Mr. Greenback?
Yes.
Mr. Sonic?
Yes.
Mr. Myers?
Yes. Is there a motion for that?
Move to what?
Is there a second? Will the clerk please call the roll?
Ms. Schmidt? Yes. Mr. Sonic?
Yes.
Mr. Katsounis?
Yes.
Mr. Gully?
Yes.
Mr. Greenback?
Yes.
Mr. Sonic?
Yes.
Mr. Myers?
Yes, the motion is carried, the legislation is adopted. Will the clerk please read legislation number 051315?
A resolution recognizing the broad duty to affirmatively further fair housing in the city of East Lake, Lake County, Ohio, and declaring an emergency.
Is there a motion to suspend the rule requiring separate readings of readings of all?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Will the clerk please call the roll?
Mr. Gully?
Yes.
Mrs. Greenback?
Yes.
Mr. Katsounis?
Yes.
Ms. Schmidt?
Yes.
Mr. Sonic?
Yes.
Mr. Sonic?
Yes.
Mr. Myers?
Yes. Is there a motion to adopt?
Move to adopt.
Is there a second?
Yes.
Will the clerk please call the roll?
Mr. Gully?
Yes.
Mrs. Greenback?
Yes.
Mr. Katsounis?
Yes.
Ms. Schmidt? Yes. Mr. Sonic?
Yes.
Mr. Sonic?
Yes.
Mr. Myers?
Yes, the motion carried, the legislation is adopted. We don't have any legislation pending, we don't have any unfinished business, and we don't have any new business. We'll move on to our administrative reports, report by American Safety Director, Jim Overstreet.
Okay, I'd just like to take this time to thank Chief Blanton for his many years of service to the city. His leadership, knowledge, and experience is greatly appreciated and will be missed. I wish you well in your future endeavors. Mayor, you're good. And with that, I'm open to questions.
Any questions for the mayor? Thank you, Mayor. We'll move on to our fire chief, Ted Whitaker.
Thank you, Mr. President. Since Larry or Dennis are not here yelling, I'll talk about it. Funny story, I know that the commissioner left. You know, we grew up together, there's only we graduated together, so I got a picture somewhere on my phone of the 1977 Little League midget football Colts. We were on a team together, and his dad ended up being my coach in the heavyweight division, so I go back a long time with the commissioner. Again, I know this probably doesn't matter, but, you know, I think there was something in the water in that Class 86 in North, because, there was a retired chief from Little Lake, or from Euclid, Chris Haddock, he was in 1986 grad with me, and the current chief of Little Lake is Bill Malbar, he was in 86 grad with me. So I think there was something in the water. To show the dedication of the Whittington family, my wife and my daughter actually came back to a council meeting. I think my wife and my daughter back there, they get all the credit. You know, it's not an easy job to do. You know, interfere with their family, so they deserve a lot of credit. Again, just to say that it's an honor to do this position. And I recognize that I'm just one small gear in this huge machine. I think that some of the proudest things, you know, like my job a lot of the times, not every day, is to bring order out of chaos. And I think that's what we do in this room. And I think that that's what happens a lot of times. I think about where we were in 2008 to where we are now, and that's just a lot of hard work from everybody. You know, I've worked with a lot of different council people over the years. Sometimes scratch my head and I wonder why you guys get involved with council, because I think that it's really a lot of times a thankless job. I sat here when you had to make decisions and had people come in here and yell and scream at you. And like a lot of times, I'm not sure they understand that we're all here with this common goal of making this a better community. So I definitely appreciate all the work that you've done, all the ones that the council have worked with in the past. I think that a lot of good things happen, and I think the things that get reported are usually the ones that have a personal effect on people, but there's a lot of good things. You know, I got to work with, you know, I don't envy Mayor Overstreet, and most certainly didn't envy their spot, you know, coming in the middle of the year and have to replace a mayor that passed away. You know, I'm not sure that was an easy endeavor. I appreciate their efforts, and obviously I can't say enough about, you know, working with Dennis. You know, he was an unbelievable person and a good mayor, and I think that I enjoyed the time with them. As far as the directors go, you know, they're very talented people. You know, I think that over the years, one thing that each of the directors brings to a table is their specialty, their talents, their the things that put it in those spots. So again, as problem solving goes and then bringing order to chaos, that's a really very fulfilling thing. I'm not sure everybody recognizes that, but like for me, when you give us a problem or something that needs to be addressed, if there's a so on, you go to the director and they have, again, unbelievable talent. And over the years, I've really worked with amazing directors. I think, again, all of them, part of the big team, concept here. So again, I'm just very proud because I grew up in this community, just to see where we're at. And I think that is a tribute to everybody that gets involved. So again, no honor. I appreciate my time here. I'm very excited about my next chapter. I leave here, fulfilled. I hope that, I did my part in that year that I had was, sufficient enough to represent well. Again, I think what the commissioner said, Chief Kavasi is going to do a great job. I think he's got a great mindset. I think that he's going to bring some youth to the position, hopefully some great ideas. And again, I appreciate you letting me get sworn in for those families on the trust. Again, other than that, we're fine. For the final time.
Any questions or comments from the chief? Chief, I have one. Something for you, council.
Thank you.
From our council.
I appreciate it. Thank you. I appreciate that. Oh, thank you very much. I'm sure I will.
You have to share.
I will.
All right, we'll move on to our police chief, Michael Warner.
Thank you, Mr. President. Excuse me, I don't have much of a voice. I have nothing of importance to report, and I can't wait till the next meeting. I am open to questions.
Are there any questions from the chief? All right, seeing none, let's move on to our chief building official, Ted Dodson.
Yeah, I'd like to say to Ted, thank you very much for especially the things I went through the last few years and how you were always there if I needed someone to talk to. So I greatly appreciate that. Enjoy your next venture. I don't think Frank will talk as much as
He probably will, actually.
we'll cut down on the council time. That's all I got.
Any questions for Mr. Mann? Seeing none, we'll move on to our service director, Robert Graham.
Thank you, Mr. President. Again, congratulations, Chief. I wish you the best. I didn't get to work with you very long, but
I appreciate that. Thank you.
good luck in the future. Service department-wise, quick update on Spray Park. Grass is growing, fence is up. The features are all installed and ready to go. Just waiting on some inspections and warm weather. We should be hopefully June 1st is the opening day. That's what we're shooting for. Pine Street is moving along. Sure, Brian will give you more of an update on that, but it is moving along. We keep getting things. We just keep telling people to be patient as far as the traffic flow on 9th Street. It's a hassle, but CSX decided to close 361st Street last week for some reason. But that's reopened now, so that's good to go. That's all I have. Unless there's questions.
Any questions for the service director, Ms. Schmidt?
What about, Flash Park, so there's going to be a fence around it? Is it going to be open and closed daily, or how are people going to access it?
As of now, it's going to be open from 11 until 6 o'clock daily, Monday through Sunday. It'll be open to the public. There'll be no attendant, no lifeguard, or it's not needed. They just go through the gate, and the gates will close automatically. The bathrooms will open and close automatically as well.
And so, do we have security cameras there, because that equipment is so expensive?
There are security cameras in place, as well as a couple more on board to get a better view.
Okay. And is the park and the parking lot?
Correct, the whole park.
Whole thing, okay, awesome. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Any questions for the service director?
Not a question, I just want to say thank you, and thank you to Rich Gamber for taking me to all the different facilities. I went and toured all of them, and we're able to do this great work. And you guys just did fantastic. I mean, Rich did broke down the cost things to anticipate years from now, and I just want to say thank you. It was a eye-opening experience.
I'm glad we could help.
Appreciate it. Yep.
Any other questions, comments? All right, move on to our city engineer, Brian Maloney.
Thank you, Mr. President, members of council, Mr. Mayor. Congratulations, Chief. And while you're trying to bring order or chaos to order, sometimes I feel like the chaos is all construction. So I just need what street so I can bring some barrels over to block it off for you.
We're getting close, right?
Yeah. But as Bob had said, Vine Street, it is moving along. Contractor is on schedule for the phase that they're on. There are hiccups, but it seems to be going well. The other project that I wanted to highlight was the equalization basin that we had bids accepted, or bids were brought in a few weeks ago. We evaluated them. They are a little higher than we were hoping for. There's some uncertainty that, with tariffs and things like that we've seen, not just in this project, but other projects that we think prices were a little higher. We're going to look at a couple of options to see what we can do to bring those prices down, whether it's waiting for a little bit on certain phases of the project and awarding certain ones to move forward. But we are going to look at all options, as well as if there's any additional funding out there to help support the city. So with that, I am open for questions.
Are there any questions for Mr. Wood? All right. Seeing none, we'll move on to our finance director, Caroline Shindell.
Thank you. Chief, it's been an honor, you'll be missed.
Thank you.
I received a letter from Rita, which I want to share with you all. It says, dear members, as we continue to work to close out the month of April, we want you to know that your tax receipts, or the tax receipts for the month of April, have come in lower than April 24th. As a result, the May distribution, which is the April money, will be lower than May of 24. Receipts were lower, but we processed more corn than this time last year. It is too early to determine if this is the beginning of a trend or if this is timing. Well, I got my check today from Rita for the month of April. It is 2/3 of last year's number. So I'm just letting y'all know the numbers are not coming in the way we wanted them for April. That's the end of my report.
Are there any questions for the finance director? All right, we'll move on to our law director, Randy Flamer.
Thank you, Mr. President. Chief, I think with the residents, I'll see it a little bit, how many times he went over to check on Dennis, check his blood pressure, being there, I think Dave's mind, Mr. May, through all Dave's stuff and updating as well. I can see the heartache in his face again. Fully felt terrible news, and it got better and better and better. I think, if I'm not mistaken, you even went over to check out Mayor Ted 3 times. Just like you're just tonight. And the things I always love is when I would try to eloquently describe my position to one of the residents, and they didn't seem to hear it at the end. You hear said that, but I think the law director was trying to say. But yeah, it was a pleasure working with you, Ted. I consider you a friend, and I hope you're friends for a long time. Yes, you're good.
Thank you.
Any questions for the law director? Just have a couple of things, Councilman Bill.
Thank you, Mr. President. Since the next council meeting will be after Memorial Day, I want to invite everyone to our Memorial Day ceremony. I'll take you to the City Hall at 11 a.m. on Monday, May 26th. Thank you.
Okay, then I just have a reminder, also the Florida 500 flags, we're doing the flag installation this Saturday at 9 a.m. I don't know if I can come and help out. Anyone have anything else? Okay. Council meeting adjourned at 7:55 p.m.